Hi again. Man, I feel all sexy after Derek's poems. Unmasking the chorus. The cicadas are coughing through their legs and couldn't care less whether anyone dreams of wings. Acquire a husk, they hum, like a cigarette hums alone in an ashtray tree. Abandon has its own bandwagon, and nothing of song or late summer's heat can assuage. Boredom. The horizon sighs like a church warden pipe. I could die on this tree, the cicadas sing, still coughing themselves, rare and blue, like a husk of song, the lyrics, but not the tune. Yeah, strap in, it's a little more of that. Supremacy. I read this poem almost every time I read. It's a poem I wrote at the Vermont Studio Center. Anyone in the room grew up watching, enjoying, or playing badminton? Badminton? Okay, so a few. This poem's built on metaphor, so you'll understand the metaphor, I believe. And for those of you who haven't, a shuttlecock and the birdie are the same thing. Yes? Okay, supremacy. Consider the shuttlecock, its deft lightness, its rubber nose unbent, its attention to racket, its fear of the ground, its willingness to lob or smash, its whiteness, its penchant for being held aloft by the slightest breeze or histories of swing. How it needs to be batted between two players, how it recognizes their want. Consider its feathers, its plastic, its conical shape suggesting hierarchy, and always its weight in your hand, how it seeks to be served. I just ruined the Olympics for some people, didn't I? Maybe rightfully so. Here's a poem about the first time I asked someone to dance. Maybe some of you can remember the tension of those moments. I remembered it enough to make a poem about it. A boondock. Lisa was the first girl in my life I asked to dance. A brass band was playing early jump blues, not a Louis Jordan situation, but you know, the Andrews Sisters, Bugle Boy and Company B, that business. Anyway, we were a shave under 9 years old, two hearing kids in an American Sign Language performance group, and when we were done signing the lyrics to God Bless America, and after the polite applause of donors circled back into Olive's drowning in gin, the dance floor opened. I asked Lisa Colasso, she loved to say like Cola Company, to dance, sheepishly, looking an inch above my glasses, thinking, what would it be to gently press my brown cheek to one of her freckles? I'll be damned if my desires will ever be that simple again. Her father was a Catholic from India. She had his features and dark hair, but her mother's Nebraskan complexion. I remember being afraid for no reason, and my hand was shaking like it was signing applause. When she put it on her hip, lassoed my neck, and we spun. I didn't know a waltz from a Roger Rabbit. All I could think is Scarecrow, Michael Jackson, imitate and ease on down the road. We rocked these blue as skylight t-shirts decorated with handprints, a fundraising situation for Be an Angel, this NGO founded by Lisa's family. My mama must have known it was going to be one of those fly in a bowl of milk moments, so she insisted my pants rest above my navel, shirt tucked, Vaseline like Yahweh's own glory across my forehead. Call me Moses at the foot of Sinai. My tablets, a pair of left feet. Just kidding, I was Gregory Hines in a Harlem Night. And if there was a golden calf, Lisa and I were it. When she moved, I moved. And just like that, we knew we'd never see a promised land. Instead of stones, the donors threw their eyebrows in the air, forgetting how colorblind they'd been before gin. Thank you so much. I'm going to read just one more poem, and it is from, all these poems are from a manuscript called the Understudy's Handbook. When Andrew was reading about the sea, I knew I had to read this poem. Ars Poetica with Zydeco. Epigraph. Leaving New Orleans also frightened me considerably. John Kennedy Toole. 1. What the sea laments is return, self to self, a tenderness. Nobody dies here because no one goes in the ground. We are not made wafers for the mud's immeasurable tongues. Communion, rather, is how I place my brown mouth on another brown mouth, not kiss, rather accent, this too, a reaching sea returning to lament. 2. The dead must rest above ground, or every last rite would be a sea burial. Our French, broken. The Gulf has always been a great pallbearer. We imbibe silence in white surf. Spit libation, lick, beg this Creole, walk water, raise dead, speak storm, then remember our mouths were made empty mausoleums, even this Mississippi ends in toothless grin. Oh, what spirits are willing come, quick, quick, slow, our tender meter rises as tide on the edge of a tongue, making each bent utterance baptism. 3. The poet says, a sea of grief is not a proscenium. I watch a pelican dive for 2 fish hidden in the worn buoy's shadow. Who can tell which lived its miracle to multiply and which slid down the pelican's gullet? If not a stage, then what, poet? I've exhausted the names for God's mirror. Let me had been. I can only repeat myself. Amen, amen, amen. Thank you so much.